He's marking, I think.
No. So
Okay.
yeah, before we go on, I need to
Sorry. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Welcome, everybody. The 2025 Southwest Open Women's Singles, Day 2. We just started, had a couple ends in of this third flight quarterfinal between Mary Spease and Misan Chan. We're in the third end right now. Misan Chan has played a couple great bowls. I'll give you more details later. To take shots. So, but right now it's she's got a 3-0 lead, and she's down one in the head with her last bowl to come. Thank you all for joining us. We had the inevitable gremlins, but our crackerjack team of Steve Nermontes and Gary Barnes have got everything working again. And once again, I'm Scott Roberts, doing the broadcast for you. So Mary's got shot here with this first one. With her bowl, it's just sitting just short right now. And Misan played this hand with her last bowl, so she's just trying to get another one, see if she can get one in, get around everything. It's a pretty good effort here. Yeah, it's kind of been a lot of that. Mary's kind of had one in the first couple ends. Mary's had like a pretty good bowl, but just one, and then but Misan's had several, so she's had a couple good shots. So in the first end again, Mary had a great second bowl that was shot, and then Misan had a grazing toucher, and then with her first bowl, drug the jack right back to that one, so she got a 2 there. And then in the second end, Again, Mary had one that was reasonably close, like 2.5 feet away. That was the closest one of the bunch, and then Misan drew one to about 1.5 feet to take shot. And so now here Mary is holding again, and then Misan has taken it, but now Mary's going to try this jack or bull shot and see if she can capitalize. Oh, just miss. Great effort, but not to be for this one. But one more for Misan Chan, and she'll go up 4-0. So hey, welcome everybody. So this is as I started to say, this is the we had qualifying yesterday. The ladies played 4 games to 14 points over 5 rounds, and then the top 8 are in the championship and second flight. The next 8 are in the third flight, which is what we have here, and then the bottom 8 is in the fourth flight. And we had 24 ladies, so everybody is back that played yesterday. So. And both Mary Spease was the 9 seed and Misan was the 16th seed, but they were both 2-2, just separated by plus points from day 1 qualifying. Everybody that was 3-1 or above made it into the championship flight. And everybody who's 2-2 made it into the third flight. So I think they're keeping an eye to see whether this jack is long enough or not. Well, thanks to we're here at I forgot to mention that we're here at Laguna Woods Lawn Bowling Club, which has an artificial surface, one of the few artificial surfaces that we have. I think Mary wants to measure this, so I think they're looking for a tape. We also have Tony Santos, who's helping out with the marking here. Laguna Woods has offered us many markers here today, so there should be a marker on pretty much every rink, so that's good. I think Gary goes from getting Gary going from doing his producer duties, doing his umpire duties. That's about as fast I've seen you move, Gary. All right. So they'll needs to be 68 feet, 10 3/4 to completely clear the jack in order to be legal. So Tony will have a look-see. And it looks like it's short, so Mary will get the mat. Be a good opportunity because Misan started with the mat, and so she bladed the first end and then has won obviously the first 3 ends. So now this will be Mary's first opportunity to roll the jack. Again, this match is to 18 points, so it won't be ends. So who knows how long it's going to last. But so far, it's been 4-0 after 3 ends. I'm really hoping it's not coming through, but here at Laguna Woods behind us is they have one of their pools that's closed down, and they're doing major renovations on it. And there is a jackhammer that's been going pretty much nonstop. But so and that's real, right? That's happening. That's not just in my head. That's just not the head, my headache pounding. That is actually real sound that's happening. So
Yeah, it's a real sound.
okay, good.
No need for aspirin.
Okay, that's good. And then I was going to start to worry and question my sanity if I was just hearing it. But hopefully it's not picking up on any of the broadcast quality here. All right, now with the jack set, Misan's going to grow her first bull. Pretty good opener here. Yeah, that's really like what you like to see, 2.5 feet through. Yeah, good opportunity for Mary to get on the board. You really don't want to have somebody stake out to a big lead and go away and hide. You like to try and get one, at least one of the first 4 ends in. Mary with also a good bowl, just kind of matching Misan's. Misan's a relatively, I got a chance to talk to her very briefly beforehand. She's a relatively new bowler and came down, made the trip with her husband. Again, it's one thing you like this, you could tell kind of the news because she seems very deliberate in her style, stance, setup, delivery. But it's been working out for her. And I can relate when I was first getting started. I was very much that way myself. It's an excellent second bowl there. Perfect weight. Hmm. Yeah, Tony calling it a measure, so probably looks about right. Yeah, Mary doesn't want to do much different here. I mean, it's the natural tendency is when you're a yard through is to take off too much. But given her first shot, bull was shot, you want to be careful. And she's made a really good bull there. Really nice. Definitely holding with that one. Misan again. Just wants really don't change anything. But I think she's taking a little pace off this one. Yeah, pretty significantly short. I don't think she's in the road. Shouldn't affect what Mary does or needs to do. Yeah. But it is probably better for her to switch over anyway. So now's the time to do it. So you give yourself a chance to adjust if you need to. Probably just going to try and see if she could just slide under her own. If a little tap on her own should be fine because if anything, it would push Misan's out a little bit. And her weight's very good. Well, maybe a foot short is all. But she's got it triangulated, so that's pretty good. The ladies were here yesterday, so they haven't switched surfaces, but this is they played on this surface at Laguna Woods, the artificial, yesterday, and then are playing on it again today. All right, Misan down at least one, maybe two or three here. So it'd be a good time for her to get one in and just slide it underneath that front bowl of her Mary's. She's got no reason to be short. And it's just another great stunning bowl from Misan. Right in front of the jack. Definitely holding. So Mary probably can afford to be a little positive with this one. Probably at least a yard over. Probably looking for a jack or bull shot. Not a lot of room between the two bulls, so it'd be really unlucky for her to float behind. And she doesn't want to hit it too hard because she doesn't want to spring that jack all the way back to the right. There should be two down there. So just really trying to see if she can pick up the jack and carry with it or pump the bull right out. It's going to be close. Oh, and just as I said that there's a small room, then she ends up finding it anyways. Really unlucky. I think if anything, she might have been just a tad heavy, and so it didn't have as much turn on it. So it kind of went through that little tiny window there. So one more for Misan, and she'll go up 5-0 in this Southwest Open women's singles third flight quarterfinal match. And our live streaming all week has been brought to you by Arrow Bulls. Same line every time. Arrow Bulls USA. And they have over 65 colors, 12 models, any logo you desire, and half sizes that they have available. And it's very much appreciate Arrow Bulls sponsoring us this week, our first sponsor for the Southwest Division. So it's very much appreciated for Arrow Bulls. So thank you, Arrow Bulls. And for those of you who are watching, if you don't mind, drop us a like. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. That way it'll help us support the bowling here. Being able to keep our coverages going and hopefully be more and more attractive to more sponsors. And then the cycle will continue. And we'll just keep doing this. So thank you very much for watching. All right. Misan's place Jack. Got to feel good. I mean, she's a relatively new bowler and up 5-0 over an experienced Team USA player like Mary Spease. She was indicating when I told her she was going to be on the camera, she was a little nervous. But she's, trying to tell her just don't worry about it. Just play your game. It'll be fine. And clearly she's off to a good start because she made some really good quality bowls here. All right. All right. So here's Mary. Be a good opportunity to get within close. Neither one of the ladies have been especially close to their first bowl. So there has been opportunities. So yeah, this is a pretty good opener here from. Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad. Maybe 2.5 feet short. Still a lot of room to draw. Does shut down that hand. Well, Misan, I think, is going to try it anyways. It's got to look ugly, but yeah, now she's rethinking that plan. I mean, if you need to switch, it's better to switch early singles because that way you get a chance to make an adjustment. Again, for those who are watching the Rinks broadcast, that's why I'm not really a huge fan of switching, especially the front end, because then you don't get a chance to adjust. Yeah, it's pretty good there, given that she switched over the hands. About again 2.5 feet through, so Mary probably just keep. Let's see if she's going to work on her own here. I think she can tap her bowl or float all the way around it. Really wants to make sure that she's at the yard here. Yeah, she had a 1.5 feet, I think. Probably should be holding. They're going to check and see. He's probably looking at the distance and so on. Yeah, you can see, yeah, she's only about 6 inches short. Now, Misan's got to be wondering what to do because it's probably got to look pretty ugly. She does have the position. She can afford to be positive and really put, it's kind of the upside of being behind is she can really put the hurt on Mary if she wants to. If she happens to pick up that jack and drag it, she'd kind of erase those two front bulls. But I'm guessing she's just going to try and draw around this front one, go back to her backhand here, which is where her first bull was. Probably take a little extra grass and see if she can come all the way around. Pretty good effort. Just not going to make it. Then just a little bit of pace. It was a good road. Just need a little pace there. Yeah, Mary's definitely holding one, according to our marker. Yeah, just one. Let's see what Mary's going to do here. It might change her up. I could really see either hand from her. It's just going to stick with the backhand here. Probably do same shot that Misa just tried to do and just kind of try and, she's played it twice already. So I don't think she wants to necessarily go around so that she could just around like her other one was. Just trying to get to that back bowl is probably good. She can touch on that. And pretty good there in a good position in case Misan gets a little frisky. It's probably two with notching that out. Didn't need to move much. It's interesting. I mean, see what Misan's going to do. Her first bowl has been, she's been able to take the jack on about 3 of the ends with her last bowl. The head set up very differently for her. She wasn't far away, so it wouldn't shock me if she stuck it. She got a good look at it by going down after bowl. Yeah, she's going to go backhand again. Probably just needs to add just the yard, say, and that'd finish her just behind, even with the same road. She's just a touch short in the last one. And in she comes. Let's see how. Then again, just absolute daggers from Nissan. The fourth bowl is just Mary's got her shaking her head. I don't know what I got to do. Every time I get good position and think I'm going to do it, then Nissan comes in with their last bowl. Thing is, you just can't worry about it. And you just got to keep trying to pour it in and, you know, figure at some point things are going to change. So Mary will probably, yeah, she's with this head set up. She's probably going to go forehand, see if she, again, a little pressing weight. I think I could see on this hand, she could come off her own bowl. She could come to the shot bowl. Don't know if she wants to go backhand here. I just don't see the percentages. Trying to float it around. It really needs to be forehand. Of course, she's kind of coming in a little cold, but she doesn't really have a lot of choice. Just need to hit the inside of her own bowl or coming all the way to the shot bowl. Either one will be good. Great shot there. Beautiful bowl by Mary, just when she needed it. And even appreciation. Good sportsmanship from Misan there. They're going to definitely won. Misan is, just giving it a quick look. 3 it is for Mary. That's really turns things around for her. That's just like that one great bowl, and they're staring down a 6-0 deficit, and now it's 5-3, just like that. Kind of an overcast day. We kind of had, but no wind to speak of, really. I mean, the wind socks they have here are just still as could be. I don't know if we're going to get any wind yesterday. We'll let you know because our tent that we have, the Air Bowls tent, will start flying away like it did 2 days ago. There's out to go a little longer. Gonna see Hall of Famer Heather Stewart playing in the ring next door. All right, here's Mary's first one. Pretty good opener there. Nothing wrong with that. A little off the line, but only maybe a foot behind. All right, here's Misan. A little worried about the bull next door, but they didn't connect. And Misan's a little short and narrow. I always wonder if when somebody makes a good conversion like that, see if they get rattled or anything. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, obviously Mary was feeling it for a while, but she kind of rose to the challenge. Now let's see if Misan can do the same. Probably one of her worst first bowls, but it's still in the area. Mary just wants to do something different. I think she overcooked this one. Yeah, this is pretty heavy. She's all the way back to the. Yeah, she's about 4 feet from the ditch there. Again, with his fast speed, you can see the bowls kind of coming into from the other rink. I think I've seen Misan a couple times earlier in the match, or just when she sees a bull there. I even think it threw her off a bit on the last bowl, just to kind of take a little break and just wait for that bull to finish. But he's ready now. Here she comes. Pretty short with this one. Yeah, if anything, she should have been adding at least a yard to that. So And it's definitely got the one. This would be a good time to put a nice close one in here. Yeah, this is a really good bull here from Mary. This is really nice. Beautiful shot. Just what the doctor ordered right there. We'll make it two. A nice toucher there. Now let's see what Misan. I think Misan we better serve to switch over and play on her forehand and try and play a jack or bull shot. She hasn't been particularly close with the line or weight, but she's going to opt for the backhand again. And she's not particularly close here. Short again. Well, Mary could really make some hay. She's holding two and nothing particularly close for Misan so far. Again, you just don't want to overthink it. I like this. Mary didn't waste any time. She didn't ask any information. She just, nothing's changed with the head. Just get down and let her rip and try and do it again. Kind of missed her line a little bit, but it's going to work out. Probably still going to be three. All right, now let's see what Misan's got here. Again, I really thought the play last time was to switch over, play forehand, and try and calm jack or bull there. It was pretty wide open on that hand. But she's going to stick with the backhand here. I don't even think she can get shot, frankly. I don't know how she could do it. It's not going to turn enough. I think that bull is right in her line. She might be able to cut it down to one, which would be all right. She's got stuff to run into, but pretty good effort there, though. But again, I think the choice of hand kind of cost her. It's like a good effort, and I think it's probably two, might even be three down. Let's see if I can hear. All right, so she's taking the two out, and then they're looking at third one. Personally, if I get this far, I understand doing the little fingering thing here quickly, but if it's even close, you might as well just get the tape out. If you've done it that many times, you might as well just get the tape out. Well, Mary will at least tie it. This measure brought to you by Arrow Bulls USA. Arrow Bulls, same line every time. They have that in one of those features of Arrow Bulls. Again, is that half sides. Are you a three? Are you a four? Are you a two? Let's see what they've. Don't know. If anything, with Arrow Bulls, you got the half size. So you can get a 2.5 or 3.5 if you want. Anybody get a good look to see if it was two or three? Did anybody see? Guessing. I'll try and do the query and see what happened. All right, so it is two there. So knotted up at 5. Two very good ends by Mary Spease there, especially last bowl. And a little loose end from Misan. She made a great last bowl again, but I think personally, I think the hand selection was a little off. I mean, you can't argue with her getting close. And I think she would have better served if she would have switched over for her third bowl. Then that would have given her feel for it. And then with her fourth bowl, she could have corrected. That as it is, because she was trying to stick with her, stick with the hand so she could try and get the good line. And she made a great bowl, but just from the hand selection, that great bowl should have been good enough to at least cut it to one and not take shot if she had played the other hand. But as it is, she still gave up two and a measure, but she didn't get the measure. So Anyways, here we are playing the seventh end, 5-5, playing to 18 points. There, kind of missed her line there, but she's jack high. Decent opener. Again, I always feel good when I'm, especially on a really fast surfaces, I've got the line. I mean, or frankly, at any surface, if you can get the line, then you could just mess with the weight. And it just, if you could just lock in on that line and you're able to groove your delivery, then that's really helpful. All right. Mary's second. She's better back on the line. A little heavy, but that's okay. Not quite sure who's holding, but better to get on the road. Nissan just wants to take a little off. Again, these are these tricky shots where you're trying to take off, take off a yard, say, or not 2 or 3 yards. Yeah, that's really well done. That's a great adjustment there. Great ball, Nissan. Taking shot there. Trying to get a look to see 2 down. Yeah. I would think Mary would just kind of keep coming. Yeah. And just trying to kind of jack her bull. Daly just wanted to draw through the shot bull. Not all the way through it, just kind of not like driving at it, just kind of, a yard, just enough to kind of hit it and push it out a little bit. Trying really hard here, even any piece of it. That's a great shot. Perfect. Perfect. Great ball by Mary. That's exactly what you wanted. You see, she had a little bit of pace to it. Even if she would have missed clean, if she would have gone under or over it, then she only would have finished like a yard behind at most. And because she hit it like square-ish or like the inside half, it finished right there. It's just a beautiful ball by Mary. Great line and weight control on that one. Let's see about Misan. She's going to try and do it herself now. See if she's going to follow the same thing. Playing her backhand, and she should get to the bowler with jack. She might be a little short here. Yeah, she just made an adjustment she didn't really need. If anything, she should have been adding weight, not taking it off. And Mary just wants probably an instant replay. She doesn't want to get a lot of jack movement, and she really wants to. It'd be good to get another one up in the head. So I think just the same bowl, and she could hit on either one, and it'd be good. And she could tip that bowl, but it's not going to put it in the count. So it's pretty good effort. Kind of mix it around. It's going to be really hard for her to lose, get a big number. I mean, there's a chance for Nissan could come through, drag the jack back for 3. So it would have been nice if Mary would have left that one where it was and kind of floated around, if anything. So she got a little unlucky. So I think Mison's play would be to play the backhand and jack her bull shot with like a yard over, kind of the same kind of thing. If she hits the jack, she can drag it straight through for 3. She could hit the bull similar to what Mary did, hit and kind of just stop. The only danger she's got is if she's too narrow and kind of hits the, let's say, the outside of the jack and pushes it the opposite direction. But that'll be really unlucky to go for, with 1 down with her bull there. I don't think she'll go 2 down. And most would just go for 1 down to 1 down. It won't matter. So I think I think being nice and positive here is a good play. And see if she sees it and can convert and try and get this into at least the point for her, if not 2 or 3 here. And a little more pace on this one. She's giving it a good look. Just going to be a little high. Nice effort. I like that. I like the weight. She just not quite enough. Not quite enough grasp, but a good effort. So one more for Spease to take the lead, her first lead of the match. She'll go up 6-5 after 7 ends. All right, so Mison's won the first 4 ends, and Mary Spease has won the last 3. But that 3, that really great conversion in the 5th end, that's the one that's been the saving grace for her. That's the one that's kind of really turned this match around. What did I go forehand here? Again, playing to 18 points, so Mary's got to 6 now. Not a bad opener. Maybe you like to see it behind. It's fine. Maybe 4 feet at most. Misan really could use, again, there's an opening here, so Misan could really use a good first bowl. This looks pretty good here. Just a touch short, but only about 2 feet short. No, she's holding. Yeah. I just wanted to make a correction here. Yeah, just kind of overcorrected. And you can see, and this is a classic overcorrection because you can almost see like a straight line between the 2 bulls with the jack almost right in the middle. It's just kind of a classic kind of symbol that you've overcorrected. These sons really let this one go. It's pretty far back, very close to the tee. Don't know if she was necessarily trying to go in back there. I think she'd be better served to just put another one in the head. All right, here's Mary. Look at this, wants a bowler to jack. Pretty good effort. Good bowl. Good position. Just a couple feet through. Her weight control's been better. You could see again, she's just kind of like halfway between the 2. And just that's more range. She'll just make a minor correction on this last one. Interesting. Mison is stick with his hand. There's a little bit of a danger with if she hits the jack. It doesn't really go her way. It wouldn't be bad for her to switch, but she seems to be staying with the same hand, regardless of what. And can't argue with the result. Another great bull there. That's 2. All right. Mary wants to keep this train rolling. She needs a good draw here. She was not far away. Not far away. A little touch on the jack. Great bull. Great bull. Just the micro correction from her third. Our marker Tony Santos is thanks for his help. Now, let's see. Now it looks like she's gonna switch. Now she is gonna switch this time. I think this is a proper play. You go with like an extra yard away. She can push either one of her two in. They don't have to move far or come all the way to the shot ball. I think she just again with no chance to adjust, and she hasn't played this hand much. Then she, going this way, and she kind of. I mean, her weight's very good. She just missed the line, so it should be one more for Spease. Again, now she's the one having the clutch shots. So Mary will go up 7-5, and has matched to 18 points. Four ends in a row. So both ladies have won four ends. We find that a lot with the singles is it can be very streaky. You can get a lot of just either somebody's got a length, or sometimes you see where it's somebody who gets there first. Just a lot of different reasons why that you see, especially, and it's just one on one. It's not like somebody. The more people you have, the more chances you have for it to be somebody's good length, whether it's a short or long or medium or whatever you're playing. You have more opportunities, but in singles, you find it being very streaky. Not unheard of for somebody to go out and have a big lead and have somebody just come roaring back, and just always kind of keep your head into it. And all right, so Mary again has been kind of going with this medium long, has been pretty consistent. All right, first bull is away. And that's the other thing you really want to do is you want to try and have that first bull as big close, at very least in good position. Actually, maybe a yard short there.
If you need to log into
Yeah, very good opener by Misan. Again, just about 2 feet behind. Better line than Marius. That's what you want to do is just kind of put the pressure on. Have a great solid first bull. Oh, and here comes Mary now. As you're going to keep through. Oh, oh, great bull. But again, and the other thing is you see the value of Misan. Even though Misan wasn't right on the jack, she was about 2 feet behind. She was playing it behind. And because of that, now she's in a very good position with her first one. I think it's a measure according to our marker, Tony Santos. Hmm. Well, and players are allowed to go up after the third bowl, but they can ask for permission if they want to go up sooner. This is somewhat unorthodox for somebody to come after their first bowl, because they've only had one. But given the nature of it's, I don't think the ladies are abusing it, and the fact that it's, they got it in a measure. To me, it's like, does it change her shot, whether she's holding or not? That'd be the information that I would want to know. And personally, I think Misan's shot, regardless of whether she's holding or not, is to play on the forehand. She might have been wanting to look at the position, but that would have been the question I would have asked is where's my bowl in relation to the jack? Where's the opposing bowl in relation to the jack? And with it being short like that, then This just like screams like switching over to the forehand and coming around. And you can come into Mary's bowl for shot. You can come into the jack and drag it for two. Frankly, it doesn't matter whether I'm holding. I mean, I either have shot or I've got a close second. And any jack movement, almost assuredly with the position, is going to favor Misan here from that hand. Let's see what she's lining up here. Looks like, yeah, she's going to go with the forehand, which is the right play, I think. Yeah. She kind of missed it, but it gives her a feel. Again, when you switch hands, this is why you don't want to try and have it leave for your last bowl. It's just, if you're going to switch hands, switch early. Now she can make the adjustment. Mary definitely should be coming to her backhand, but she can work on her own. She could push hers up and follow it. That would probably be the best. She could also push Misan's right on through, given that they're on the running surface. I think she's hung this out, though. She got one in the back out of it, though, which is not terrible, but I haven't seen really Misan play anything with any kind of weight. Everything's been a draw. All right, and Misan's been very good with the corrections here, so I think she'll probably have another good correction. This one should be much closer. Guess not. Pretty much the same bull. Literally went right past her own. She really just needs to take some more grass. Definitely didn't take enough. Mary had a pretty good line. She's just very heavy. She'll probably take the weight off, and I think this one should be a good correction. It would shock me if she overcorrected, frankly, since she was so far through in the last one. Yeah. Kind of human nature there. All right. Nissan's got one last chance. Try and change this. Right now, it's still a measure. I mean, nothing's changed from that. Interesting. She's just totally given up on that hand. She's just going to go on the backhand, which she had some good success and drew that one in there. And I'm not sure what she's hoping to accomplish here. The only thing I could think of is just a little touch on her own. But you can't touch Mary's. It's very dicey there. And she's come up short. So I don't know. Maybe she thinks she's got it. So yeah, they're going to go to the measure anyway, so nothing to change. So this measure brought to you by Arrow Bowls USA. Thank you, Arrow Bowls, for your sponsorship for this week's Southwest Open, and it is very much appreciated. Arrow Bowls, same line every time. I wonder if we're going to have to get an umpire drafted here. Tony's an umpire, I believe, so Tony is right there, and he could always do it if need be. Interesting. There are some players I see that just they're umpires. They just like to do it themselves. I'm in that camp. And others, it's just like as soon as we get an umpire. But we're going to just wait and see who actually gets the mat, and then we'll know who won the measure. It's the way they're acting. I'm like thinking it's Mary, frankly. Yeah, Mary's got the mat. So Spease gets another one, her fifth end in a row, although that was the closest of the bunch, to extend her lead to 8-5, playing to 18 points in this 2025 Southwest Open Women's Singles third flight quarterfinal match. So the rest of the broadcast schedule, this is our last day of the broadcast for the Southwest Open. So what we'll have after this match will be breaking for lunch, and then we'll have one of the second flight semis, and then the main event will be later this afternoon. We'll have the actual championship match. We have a lot of those quarterfinals going on right now on the screen with some of the other matches that are happening, and it's a lot of the big names that you would see. Julia Gallows out there, Janice Bell, Melanie Visner, and Nunes. Some of the people that I see already that are in this that are in the championship flight. So we're going to see two of those players in the final today. Here's Mary with her first. Get a little touch on the jack. That's a pretty good opener there. Again, that's what you really want to do. It's just like if you want to improve and be a good singles player, good jack control, one, and two, being able to get your first bull. Frankly, good leads and singles play. It's a good thing to do. All right, here's Misan. Really needs to. She's was very hot early, but Mary's kind of turned up a notch. She made that big conversion in the fifth end to get three, and really hasn't looked back. Last end was very close down to a measure, but went Mary's way. Not that Misan hasn't had her chances, but she just hasn't taken advantage of it. Mary's probably, again, she's just a yard through. Probably just, I wouldn't. Dangers, you don't want to overcorrect. I wouldn't call it danger, but the concern is not to overcorrect. Yeah. So she's a little short and narrow, that one. Misan's not too bad. Maybe about 5 feet through. Pretty decent road. Interesting that she's on the center line as opposed to where the jack is, even though there was slight movement. So let's see if she makes the adjustment here. Yeah, pretty good. Just a little short. Again, just a slight overcorrection. And you see a lot more of the overcorrection on the faster greens. It's so natural. It happens more often than not. It's very difficult on the faster greens to make minute corrections. And Mary wants the line of the first, way to the second here. And just kind of tapped her on. Should still be holding a couple, I think, with that one. Tony, give us a look. I'm not too sure myself because she did kind of pop it. I don't think Mary's too far away, but Tony's having a good look there. He's got a bird's eye view. He just says the measure. Okay. I think Mary was holding before, but then she just kind of punched hers out. Finished about 6 inches away. So Misan just wants to split the difference here. Goldilocks bowl. Too hot, too cold. He went just right here. This looks pretty good here. That's definitely a shot. Measure's gone now. That one's definitely in. Probably a foot short. Well, Mary needs a good draw here. She could also afford I don't think she'll get shot by resting on her back bowls. She really kind of needs to just cold draw it here. Alternatively, she could drag the jack, but she's, I think, opting just to draw. Needs to really stop here. Just too much. All right, barring some kind of disaster, Misan will get back on the board and end this streak here. It's a little bit of danger. I mean, it's interesting to be of two minds. Well, it's like, well, I could play the same bull that was just shot, but there's a little bit of danger from the jack movement. And she could pretty easily turn this over. It wouldn't have to move much to get away from her. So you really got to have good control on your weight. But again with singles, if you get a free draw, you really, or any time for that matter, if you get a free draw, you really want to try and take advantage of it. So she's going to stick with her backhand, which has been kind of her bread and butter. All right, it's away. Yeah, this isn't going to move the jack, so that's a win just from that. Just needs to slide under that. It fell over. That might have been enough. I don't know. That went from definitely the one, of course. Now we might have giving her two. Pretty sure it's two. So two for Misan there. Good bowls. Kind of chomp into lead and kind of takes over there. Make it at 8-7.
Two.
And now Misan's get the all important mat she could hopefully take advantage of. They're kind of, I think, checking their cards and the scoreboard here. Yeah. So we played 10 ends and it's Spease 8, chance 7. But the ends really don't matter. 1 to points. All right. Misan, kind of going on the shorter side. She's been, I think, when she's had it, she's been pulling the mat up and been going a little shorter. Whereas Mary's been kind of going more on the little bit longer. Hasn't had the mat out a little bit in the jack, maybe a couple yards from the tee. So kind of like more of a medium longish length. And Misan's been kind of going short medium here. She seems to definitely be favoring her backhand. I mean, it's kind of what I've been seeing. It's just been kind of going around the clock, as we say, just playing backhand, 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 backhand. Pretty good opener here. Yeah, I mean, good road, maybe 2.5 feet short. I'd like to be a yard further in our next one. I'd like to be just behind, but if you get there first, then it usually puts a lot of your odds of winning significantly increase because you're forcing your opponent to make a conversion. Yeah, Mary, a couple yards short from Mary. Let's see if Lisa can make a slight correction here just to get past her own, get to the jack. Looks really good. Yeah, another good bowl. Again, a little short, just maybe a foot, but definitely closer than the last one. I'd like to see Mary Spease, star. Tired Laguna Beach police officer. Just kind of cut across there. I think that was enough weight, again, to match Misan's just being a foot short or so. There's Misan. Really just wants to add a couple feet. Just keep adding, sneaking up on the finish just behind this. Really good. Great bull there. Well done. Very nice. That makes it 2 now. And a lot of pressure now put on Mary. She could try and go switch over to forehand, push her own up or that one out. But she could also just do the same thing and just take the grass and come around and come to the bull or the jack. Probably thinking about her options and what she wants to do here. It's got to look a little dicey from the mat with all those bulls in front. And I think that's part of it. It looks pretty intimidating, but she's going to opt for the forehand and see if she can, I think, press her own or press the second shot bull through and follow it. Likely her own. It's got the weight that time. It's probably a little too much. She really leaned into that one. I don't think she needed that much weight. Mason's looking at it to see if it's 2, but it sure looks like 2. Unless our camera angle's really wonky. One of the things that you don't necessarily have, obviously, when you're playing in a team match, either pairs or triples or ranks, is that you don't have other people to bounce ideas off of what you could do or get information from. Just having a conversation with the voices in your head. And if that voice lies to you, then you got a problem. All right, here's Misan. I think she wants to probably, no need to be cute. She should really just do the same thing. No real danger. Got all the position. With those front bulls, it's going to be very hard for Mary to drag that jack all the way back. And she just threw a stunner, so I'm thinking she's probably wanting to just do it again. If you can afford to just touch on that. A little unlucky to go all the way through, frankly. Pretty good bull. She could have hit the jack, would have helped the cause, or hit her own bull and stopped there. But Mary's having a look to see how many it is. And it gave her a chance to look at it so she could decide whether she wants to try the same thing and go the forehand and push her own up or push the second shot through, or if she wants to just try and do the straight draw on the backhand. Really, I think better thing is just whatever you played better, whatever it is that you've had more confidence with, either this hand or during the match. I mean, at this point, you played 10 ends, so you should have a pretty good idea of which hand you like better. So she's going to go to the backhand, which is what she had done her first 2 bowls. Just try and take the extra grass, see if she can get it around and in. Not far away. It's a pretty good effort here. What a shot. Is it going to fall in for shot? Oh, great bull regardless. And good appreciation. Get good sportsmanship from Misan. Like to see that. Players rooting for their own, even for their opponent's bulls. I mean, what could you do? You know, Misan made good bulls, and then Mary just made an absolute stunner. So Mary gets back with just an absolute stunner of a last bull to go extend her lead to 9-7. She's halfway to the 18. Here in this 2025 Southwest Open Women's Singles Third Flight quarterfinal. Again, there were 24 ladies that entered this tournament. The top 8 are in the championship / second flight. The next 8 are in the third flight, including these 2 ladies. And then the bottom 8 are in the fourth flight. Mary going very long here. Kept the jack in play. It'll go to the tee. I think we have a couple of the championship flight matches are already over. Because they were on, I see two rinks that looked empty. And when you're playing 18 points, that can happen. All right, here's Mary's first. Pretty healthy. I think a little too much. Don't know if it went in or not. I think it might have. Oh, okay. Got Steve said that it didn't go in the ditch. It's just kind of hanging on the lip there. I mean, it's not too radical to see that you've got a very different distance to see kind of misses significantly when you switch from going long to short or short to long. Pretty good opener there by Misan. Really just a yard through. Here's Mary. Had a pretty good road. Just needs to take probably 5 feet off. Would be good. Even just taking a yard off would be good. And she's right around in that area. Yeah, that's well done. That's well done there. Jack level or so. Yeah, Misan's actually added some weight here. That might have gone in the ditch. Yeah, Tony's fishing it out. All right, Mary just wants to do the same kind of thing. Just still a little too heavy. All right, here's Misan. This looks like a better bowl here. Yeah, that's real nice. Good solid second there. Mary's just confirming that it's one, which it is. So I see Mary get back to her, get back to this solid weight that she had here for this one shot. Yeah, just a little heavy again. The thing you notice is like every bowl is in this quadrant, and they've been taking too much grass. Every bowl is on this side. So it's just not turning as much. All right. Well, Mary's holding one. Not a whole lot to this for Mason. And she could just either do the draw or even just being a couple feet through, trying to hit the inside half of Mary's or hit it square and push it through. She could be a little pressing with it and push it out and get two. It doesn't really have any options for big weight. Pretty much just a draw. Let's see if this one holds up or if it's going to turn across. It sure looks like it's going to turn across, but. And she didn't have the weight to it. All right, one more for Spease. So she's the first to get to double digits. Go up 10-7. I know I always thought that was a decent milestone. Always felt good when whether you're going to 14, 18, or 21, to get to double digits first is kind of a pretty good feeling. The main thing is who gets the 18. A little shorter this time for Mary. All right, I'm looking at the championship flight, a couple matches that ended. So Julia Gallo beat Janice Bell, and Ann Nunes beat Trisha Kwan. So those are the two championship matches that have finished. The other two are Rose Selby and Melanie Visner, and Joanne Hedgepeth and Susie Houston. So those are two matches that are still going on in the championship flight. All right, here's Mary. This looks like a really, really, really good opener. That's what you want to see. That's well done there. Right behind, maybe 2 feet. Very good. Here's Misan. Really needs to start getting some more bulls in the head. That's not bad. That's a pretty good start. Yeah, so Mary's won 7 of the last 8 ends after Misan got 5 in the first 4 ends, and Mary broke off 5 in a row. And Misan with the 2, and then Mary now with 2 1s in a row to get to 10-7 where we are now. Mary looks like a really nice one here. 2 really good bulls. Little touch on the jack there. Misan just, again, her weight's pretty good. Just needs to kind of clamp it down a little bit here. Tighten it up. This looks really good as well. Really good. Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. Even finished right behind it. Absolute dagger by Misan just when she needed it. I think we had a flyby from Hall of Famer Heather Stewart. Was playing Julie Buchanan. I'm pretty sure Heather had the card, so I'm pretty sure Heather won. So she'll keep rolling. She's in this flight too. All right, just going to be narrow here. Another good bull by Mary. An interesting choice here from Misan. She could just do it again, which would be totally understandable, but a little safer to switch over and play the forehand because she wants to be just anything underneath those 3 bulls of Mary's would be good. And any jack movement, I mean, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be unlucky in the extreme for her to kind of hit the inside of the jack and push it to the left on your screen to get to hers, but a little more likely to do it here. But she's been pretty consistent with playing her backhand and played it pretty well. She just really doesn't want to be narrow and heavy here. That's the only danger. Yeah. And she's a little narrow, but very much not heavy. She's very short, probably 3 yards short. Mary's got an interesting choice here. She can opt. I think she'll probably just play the backhand and see, kind of a jack or bull shot. I mean, she's got multiple seconds. Jack move would really be good for her. But the usual tendency is to play this heavy and then not, take too much grass. But she's opting just for a little overdraw. This is not bad at all. Oh, what a stunner! Wow, what a shot that was! And at this really good weight. I mean, if she would have, just been a little narrower with that weight, she would have picked up the jack and would have drug it to her own. But as it is, she just an absolute. I mean, I don't know what's sharper than a dagger. Got Misan through his exceptional bull. Mary just countered that. Parry and lunge. Oof. Now Misan's got, she's only got really that one bull there, and she's in a heck of a lot of trouble. And it's almost tempting to just take the one down because she could get Jack moving and go and be multiple down here. She's switching over to forehand. Not bad. Just get an idea of what this forehand is. It's really kind of been a bugaboo for her. Just playing her forehand. So any kind of movement on it, but finishing high would be better. She is not far away either. And it's a pretty good effort considering she could have just popped and kind of cracked the egg and hit the jack in the bowl and pushed it out. But Mary Spease with just a stunning bowl, her third end in a row to go up 11-7. And winning 8 of the last 9 ends. Oh, and Nissan. No wonder if she's going, boy, what do I got to do? Thing is, you're also seeing Mary getting not as many loose bowls, even when she's missing in that end, especially. She didn't miss by much. It was just her weight was pretty good. Her line was very good. You're not seeing the bowls like you were kind of seeing earlier, where it was kind of like over 2 yards away. For me, usually the first milestone, like I said, is you get to 10. And the next milestone is when you get to where this could be the last end. So when you get to 14. And once you get to 14, then any end could be the last end. But we're not there yet. Again, Mary kind of going for this medium, more of a medium, mat up a little bit. Decent opener. That's maybe at most 2 yards, probably more like 5 feet. And again, finishing behind. Pretty close to the line. Got an update for the men's. Have their singles also day 2. So have 3 of the matches done. So Grant Shear beat Ron Rollick. Dave Breeden beat Steve Smith. And in a battle of pairs partners, Charlie Herbert beat Saeed Jazieri. So there's 3 finishes there in the men's side. I believe the men are doing the broadcast today, and that's on the Bulls USA Facebook page. Or they're not broadcasting at all, according to my producer, Gary Barnes. He's just shaking his head. That was the original plan. I guess it's just us. All right, Misan, maybe 2 feet, 2.5 feet short there. But it's going to force Mary into switching over. She's just not going to mess around with it and switch. Better to switch early. Yeah, it's a good bull there. Maybe just a yard through. Pretty good on the line. All right, Misan's going to stick to the backhand. I think she's thrown like 95% of her bowls on the backhand. Even though she's kind of in the way, but it might be able to help her. She probably just shouldn't do anything different. Just again, just to draw through. Trying to finish a couple feet behind is good. Should help her. And she added a little bit, but she's still short. Mary's going to look and see if that's shot. Mary just needs to take the weight off. Her line was pretty good. Traveling nicely here. Little touch on the jack. Oh, and sits on her own bull. Still don't know who's holding because she didn't get a lot of it, but she got some of it. And you got our marker trying to fingering trick Tony. Yeah. No, it's gonna. Nissan could stick with her backhand. It's, she's been a steady dose of it the whole day, but she's opting to switch now. Ideally, she'd want to come to Mary's bowls. I think would be the best target. She's not put this down very good. Very short. Mary's going to have a look-see. At the very least, it's close. I mean, Misan played that like she was holding. But I mean, really, she's got no position at all. She's got nothing behind the jack. Mary, any touch on the jack, just even a little bit with her this bull, and it's 3. Don't think she wants to be super frisky of kind of blasting this. Yeah. All right, she's just going to follow through and continue with the forehand here. Even hitting the inside half of that front bull is good. Or tick on the jack is real good. Oh, she just missed. Boy, tick on the jack, and it's probably 2 for her. As it is, we're stuck with this measure. Marker and both players have had a look at. Again, I think Misan can get really good, these free shots you have, and just trying to come to Mary's bull, but just her forehand she's just not played it well. I can see why she just gets a backhand, whatever it is in her head. It just hasn't even been really good deliveries, frankly. When she plays her backhand, she's played very well. So they're going to measure this to be sure. It'd be interesting to see. Usually, when there's 2 bulls you're measuring, and one's laying down on its base and one's on its running surface, the one on the base is usually the closer one. But this measure brought to you by Arrow Bowls USA. Thank you, Arrow Bowls, for your sponsorship. And it was quickly done. I guess we'll find out in a second who had shot. I think they're checking the scoreboard and their cards. Yep, Mary Spease gets it. So she goes up 12-7. 4 in a row, 9 of the last 10 ends. And again, with being able to, even though the last couple of them have come down to a measure, she's been the one that's holding. Which again is why I've, the Misan, you'd like to see her, if it's close, play it like you're down. You've had the last bowl, you've had a chance being, several yards short. And it's just not, not what you need. If you're down, be up. There's a reason. So you can't really turn it over. So, and you see, just Mary, the head's just been getting tighter for Mary. Just more of the bowls are in range and close. There's Mary's first. Really good opener. And maybe a bowl short is all. Again, you're starting to see, Mary's just very consistently getting within like no more than 4 feet or 5 feet with their first bowl. Figuring out the rink and being able to play her length, the length that she's choosing. And you're not seeing it from Misan. She's just kind of, and even the miss, she's missed, short. It's at least 2.5 yards short there. The sun's starting to peek out a little bit between the clouds here. All right. Mary's second. Doesn't want to do much different. She can afford to add a little weight and some grass. And she's done both. Good bull. Maybe a yard behind. Just really kind of getting a lot of bulls and putting the pressure on. Now she's the one that's got the multiples in the head. Well, it's kind of like the opposite of what it was at the beginning, where it's just like Mary would have one good bull and Misan had multiples in the head. Now you're seeing Mary get multiples in the head and Misan having one good bull. And she's fighting just to try and cut it down. So, and Mary's got to be roaring with confidence right now. And Misan needed to add 2 yards and took a yard off. So it's not what you want to see. Another good bull here by Mary. Just continuing to put the pressure on. Yeah, that's 3 now. Misan not particularly close. She really needs to get a bull in the head or it's going to get in a hand. This looks like a better effort. Just sails through. And Mary's going to ask her marker Tony to have a look. I could see anything in here. Just one. All right. Misan was able to cut it to 1 and a measure. Don't think Mary should change anything. It's pretty safe, and she's played this hand pretty well. If anything, she's just been narrow 3 times. She can afford to be narrow again if she picks up that jack and drags it for 3, but that'd be a pretty good bull. Here she comes again. Hard to say. Took a little off there. That was the shot of somebody who's holding and is happy to be holding. Giving Misan a little bit of a wall that you could use. She could hit that short ball on the right side and it could redirect right on in, but I don't think she'll get to it from this side. Yeah. Yeah, three short bowls is not a recipe for success. So Mary will score again almost assuredly. It's just a question of how many. That'll go to the tape. Once again, this measure brought to you by Aero Bowls USA. Very appreciative of the sponsorship from Aero Bowls. Aero Bowls, same line every time. Thank you to Aero Bowls for sponsoring our live streaming this week. I think Mary thinks it's 2, but it's gonna look for a 3 here. It'll be close here. Good thing is, at least it's not hot. When it's summertime, this carpet is just roasting. And if you were down this long doing a measure, your knees will get burned. And I'm not kidding.
142 degrees.
Yeah, I think Stu Scary's told me that he's had the surface and he puts a temperature on it. It's had to get as high as 140, 140 Fahrenheit. 3. Well, huge in by Mary Spease there. And she gets into that in the end could win it now. It's 15-7. And she's been the far superior player, winning 5 ends in a row for the second time, 10 in the last 11. Outscoring Misan Chan 15-2 during that spell. All right. So again, kind of going to this, he's probably about 2 yards short of the tee here. That's up just a hair, maybe a yard, so on the longer side. All right, here's Mary's opener. Looks a little zesty. Again, with it being a little longer and should try to correct. So, but that's been one of her worst first bowls in a long time. Probably maybe 3 yards through there. But that opens the door for Misan. We really got to walk through it if somebody's going to open the door for you. Good opportunity to get a close one. It couldn't have try and reclaim this. This is far from over. She could win an end and then get the mat back, and who knows what'll happen. Yeah, Misan coming up a couple yards short, but not in the road. So Mary's stick can just kind of come right around, taking the weight off here. That's a little bit better. That's more of like the opener that you'd want to have. It's still about 4 feet through. Should be good enough for shot. Misan's just had far too many short bowls, and it's really been costing her. And it just it's just a blank. And if anything, it's just getting in her own way, getting in her thoughts. This is better. And that's very good there. That's real nice. All right. We start with one that's a yard behind. You got to be careful. I mean, anytime you're playing singles, just because you're not playing ends, momentum can shift very quickly. It's over when you hit the mark. It's 18, then it's over. And Mary trying to drop the 5 feet here. Yeah, just kind of an instant replay of her last ball. So there's a chance for Misan to get another. She could afford to do the same thing and get two on. Yeah, pretty close. That should be a second. It's only about 2 feet, 2.5 feet short. So I think it's two down. Mary's had a good road. It was just a little too heavy. There's always a tricky shot here to try and. Drop a yard, but only a yard. Well, I think she missed her line. It's just a question of whether it'll hit the inside half of this and come in. Oh, it fell the right way. Well, I think she did it. Pretty close, anyways. Got away with it. Just kind of hung on. It looks like it was very narrow. All right. Well, Misan just doesn't want to do much different. Just kind of even splitting the two, and then she should be in for shot. As it is, I think it's yet another measure here. She's coming up short. Just far too often. I mean, her fourth ball. Oh, she got it to fall in. Look at that. I didn't think that was going to make it. That just kept on traveling. I think she did it. Let's having a look see. I don't know. Once again, this measure brought to you by Arrow Bulls USA. Thank you, Arrow Bulls, for your sponsorship. Same line every time. I think they're still measuring these two. But just that last flop in from Misan makes it interesting. I just can't dwell with the angle, whether it got in or not. They're still both, it's 2.5 feet away here. So, yeah, Mary's got it again. She's won not only has she just every measure she's gotten. And that's 6 in a row, 11 of the last 12, and it's up 16-7. Misan's played well, just not enough, just really not enough balls in the head. So, and you could see how that you can't live or die by having one good bowl. Just a long run, it just does not work. That goes for any level, though. It's amazing The more bulls you have in the head, the luckier you get, the more measures you end up winning. So they might get lucky once in a while, but more bulls usually get more luck. Right, again, Mary sticking with the same distance. Let the mat up, a little less than 2 yards. And then that jack is about a little over 2 yards, short of the tee. It's pretty good opener with the weight. And she's just kind of missing her line a little bit more than she has been. Again, Misan, you just see her just been playing the backhand. I think both ladies have been. That looks like it's going to come all the way across as well. Decent opener, but weight-wise, just they both ladies missed their line. I'd probably see a pretty good adjustment from Mary here, I would guess. Wouldn't shock me if she was online, but maybe a little further through, but let's see. Yep. A slight overcorrection on both, but still reasonable. A lot of room to draw there for Misan. Similar kind of correction. Got the line and then just added way too much weight. It's sometimes difficult to just correct one thing. You get a little head shake from Mary, but she's still definitely holding, definitely in control of this match. I think she likes it. Got the little jiggle following that down. She wants a bird's eye view of this thing. Yeah, that's well done. That's well done. Again, being a perfectionist, you'd like it to be another foot further, but that's still, given the conditions and what you've had previously, that's really good. And Mason, who probably should be playing her forehands, just stick with her backhand here. She's going to have to come clean through this bowl. And she's probably just going to hit it. And that's going to, if she plays the same bowl in the forehand, then she's in for shot. And that would be the better hand. But she just, her forehand has just kind of been a little bit all over the place. So she's been sticking with the backhand. At least she got a good solid second here. So now Mary could play, and she's got options. She could play the backhand again, which she just played, but probably is not going to, I don't think she would get around. It'd have to be a really good shot. She got much, much better options on the forehand and just come into that pile. It's hard to give it away. Even a little drag on the jack would be good. She could get, put herself in a position to have it be a holding match. And she's opted for the forehand. Can't really give it away. Pretty safe. Inside of these, right in this pile would be really good here. Just didn't get paid off, but pushed her own a little closer. So pretty sure it's just one. And Mason's got, again, it's if she plays backhand, she could push her own in, or rather she could push Mary's in, and then Mary would win this thing. She really should be going the forehand, but well, she's going to stick with the backhand here. The only chance she's got is to try and be underneath both gray bowls to the jack clean. I think that's about all she can hope for on this hand. And I just don't know if it's going to turn properly from that way. And when it's just wide open on the front hand. But she's going to give it a shot. Let's see. Yeah, just you see the path, the curve of the bowl, and it just was not going to get inside there. So pretty sure just the one. So yet another one for Mary. Now any end she wins is the last end. We went up 17-7, playing to 18 points. She's won 7 ends in a row now, and 12 of the last 13. Just totally in control of this match. And again, even though she's had some measures here and there, and they've been close, she's had far more bowls in the head and far better position. And I think Misan, again, has just been kind of stuck on playing her backhand. And she plays it pretty well, but you got to be able to play both hands. You can get away with playing like maybe 90% of one hand, but long term, it's you got to be able to have both because there's times when you're going to have to need it. And she really needed it on that one, frankly. It was more likely for her to give the match away, give away a second point on that hand than it was to get shot. All right, see if this is the 18th end of the match, and it's got the very strong potential to be the last one. Solid opener from Mary. Just a little, little narrow. Weight's pretty good. Maybe at most 2 feet behind. Nissan again, playing her backhand, played pretty well here. Just about a foot behind, holding. That's what you like to see. You like to see a good, solid first bowl. I think we've seen pretty consistently that both these players have been playing backhand and just kind of going around the clock. But Mary's played the forehand when she's needed to. All right. This looks like a really good bowl here. Just needs a little more. Oh, great road. Just a yard short, maybe 2.5 feet. Misan should still be holding here. Decent effort. Just wants to arrive on her own. Yeah, there's 2 good bowls. Another solid bowl from Misan. Mary wants to look and see. I don't think she'll be surprised. She thinks she's holding, but I don't think she is. So Mary will probably play backhand. She can pretty safe to be playing to those 2 bowls there. Or just a straight draw. Still is, pretty good amount of room to draw. Anything within 2 feet would be good. All right, Mary on the backhand. He's eyeballing it. I think she opted to go for the little more of the weight here. It just kind of rolls between a decent effort. You can see what she's trying. Just trying to kind of hit that, preferably the inside bowl. Either hitting either one of the bowls is good, or obviously hitting the jack. And Misa wants to try and do the same thing. She can afford to be a little narrower. Right. See how this is going to turn. It looked like it was narrow, but yeah, a little. Well, not gonna add to the count there. Mary's gonna have a look at it. Again, we're at 17-7. Mary just needs one more point and she'll win. So here at the 2025, we're at Laguna Woods Lawn Bowling Club. The 2025 Southwest Open. We had the 2 days of rinks, 2 days of pairs, and this is the second day of the women's singles. And it's our first match of the day. After this match is over, we'll probably have anywhere from, let's say, break for lunch, so probably a half hour, 45 minutes. And then we'll have one of the second flight semi-final matches. And then that'll be followed later in the afternoon by the championship match for the women's singles. All right, here's Mary. Chance to get what could be the final point of the match if she should get a draw in. Just needs to get to the inside of this bowl or stop short of it. Really well done. Look at that turn. What a shot. Absolute stunner there, right when she needed it. And now she's holding the match. And now it's on Misan. She's been playing pretty consistently in the backhand to try and she could outdraw it, but the better play is probably to do forehand and she'd come through this gap. She just has not been be nice and firm with it, trying to come through between the two bulls. Hit the bull and the jack. She can hit the jack and drag it to hers for three. She is not far away. She's giving us a look here. Oh, what a nice try. That was a pretty good bowl by Misan, but it'll be one for Mary Spease. Just really took over that match, but really good sportsmanship from both these ladies as they give each other a hug. It's nice to see, but Mary Spease will advance. A good win, 18-7, but again, a strong outing by Misan Chan. So we'll be taking a 30, 45-minute break. And then we'll be coming back with the second flight semifinal. I know Janice Bell will be in one of those matches, but it's going to be the loser of the match that's currently going on still right now. So for Steve Darmontis and Gary Barnes, I'm Scott Roberts, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thank you.